Hey, what's going on, guys? Battle Nations Emperor here, back today for another video. And today we are discussing unreleased content in Battle Nations. So, we have already gotten a vast majority of the game back with a very little unreleased content back from just Madrona's Battle Nations. Besides max level stuff like, Plasma Mammoth and some of the new stuff like Force the Diamond and Plasma Mammoth itself, we really aren't looking at that much left. But then there is some content that has never been released at all, even by Z2 themselves. And that is what we are talking about today. When I say unreleased content, I'm talking about unused content that was never used all the way back in the 2010s, and maybe it's used now, maybe it's not. That's what we're of course going to discuss and theorize today with, in my opinion, 3 of the coolest unused Battle Nations content. So let's just go ahead and jump it right into the video, starting off with number 1, the wood power plant. This is what it looked like, and for unused content in Battle Nations, we actually have quite a little bit on this guy. This is what his stats look like. He would have cost 3 population. He would have been a 4x4. He would have cost 60,000 gold, 4,200 iron, 4,200 concrete, and would take a day and a half to construct, with of course the little minor information right there. And we even have the in-game description of it, not by any release or anything, but from a Z2 hack. I didn't even know about this. Very cool stuff. And I'll go ahead and throw up the hacked image right here and go ahead and read it. And it reads, "Money is power, but you know what else is power? Power. This plant will allow you to supply even more energy than before, allowing you to build better buildings." That is freaking crazy. So this very much could have been another gun foundry or armor shop or even something else that allowed you to build other buildings. And with it, a name like the wood power plant, it sounds kind of silly, but I mean also could have had something to do with, a new source of energy, some new mechanic in Battle Nations. We really have no idea. With Z2 gone, we never will. But we already have the description for it and the design right here. So it very much could, in theory, become its own thing. I personally thought this was super freaking cool. I had to share it with you guys because, well, I just see this could be taken any way. If you want to be simple with it, have it unlock a new few power-based building, wood stuff, whatever you want. But you could go, a whole new way, introduce an energy concept in Battle Nations and have this be it. It very is open-ended here, and of course we'll never know what it actually was, but this is a very cool project because also a lot of unused buildings, like for example the airport in Battle Nations, it just says the in-game description from the code. We don't have a image of it, let alone details of it or anything. It's literally just the code. This guy, we have an image and a whole description, so very freaking cool. Had to shout him out because of all the unused buildings. This one really caught my eye, especially just with the Z2 hack. There are more like it, but this one I just thought deserved a shout out. So continuing right along, we have this girl right here. There's no introduction needed, Dr. Tessel. So if you actually don't know who Dr. Tessel is, you're in for a story. So this is Dr. Tessel, one of the probably most interesting characters in all of Battle Nations, and despite that, she's barely in the game. Well, she's not in the actual game itself ever, except once, but she first started out in the very early Battle Nations demo, not the Madrona beta, but the Battle Nations demo. First released, this was some of the very first promotional art the company Z2 released. All we knew is it was just going to be a bigger version of Trade Nations, a game that came before from Z2 that inspired Battle Nations, and we had this image, and it was uploaded to the App Store at one point, but this is all we have of her. Of course, we can see her, and let's also address, the elephant in the room. She basically is just female Morgan. Not even basically, she is female Morgan. So it's a very good possibility this character was never released because we got Lieutenant Morgan. If that's the case, say in the comments below who you would have preferred. I'm joking, of course. Seriously, we obviously would, of course, love our Morgan boy. Who knows, maybe she would have had a completely different personality. Maybe she would have just been Morgan in female form. But I'll go ahead and say it. If she was to come back, cinema. I think you could totally see it, even have Morgan make some kind of comment about it, but I personally just think it would be awesome. So yes, this was her first ever appearance, and she would not be mentioned again in any cover, or especially the game itself, until years later in this promo right here. That's her silhouette. So Battle Nations, or Z2 more specifically, makes this brand new character, a female Morgan. They decide not to use it, never mention it in game, and then years later use it in a 4th of July promo. What's the story there? What are they doing? So something pretty interesting I wanted to mention to you guys, just see what your guys' thoughts on it. could just see it as a written off character if it wasn't for the fact they reused her skin here. I just don't understand this. There, as you gentlemen know, hundreds, if not thousands, okay, maybe not that, but dozens of hundreds of Battle Nations characters they could have used. And why of all of them Dr. Tessel? That just seems kind of weird to me. If you guys have your own theories, please let me know in the comments down below. It's just something that always kind of was weird to me. But the fact that they used her again, interesting. Please, E2. We would love to see her back. But yeah, that's number 2 for this unreleased content. And that brings us into the last piece of unreleased content. If you like this video, please let me know. There is a lot of unreleased Battle Nations content, so we could certainly do more videos like this. I could easily make a part 2 if you guys would like. Just let me know in the comments down below. And with that being said, our final entry for today will be Acid. You heard that right, Acid. Not to be confused with Poison, which has the exact same logo. And I'll be honest, as a kid, I always thought Poison was just Acid, especially since to me it was introduced through the sandworms. So I just thought it was, them spitting, stomach acid, and that was like, how their species attacked. But no, this is a completely different thing. This is Acid, and how it works, I'll go ahead and of course just read the description thrown up right here. It says, Acid is an unreleased environmental damage over time status effect added in patch 4.0. Some units are immune to it. However, there are no units that can currently imply or invoke this. It does 20 damage per turn with 10 armor piercing. And I'll go ahead and throw these up. These are the units immune to Acid, but it was never introduced. And a status effect or environmental status effect is that. Again, I always felt this just could have been switched up, always added earlier in the game, but it was a completely different thing. It would be environmental, which I feel is weird. I feel like, some creature would invoke this, but nevertheless, it was going to be environmental, and you could go any way with this. Again, I just see it so much as like, have vehicles and tanks that should already spit acid, do the acid instead of poison, but yeah, it was going to be environmental. Totally could see that going in several different ways. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. I think it would work better as, something dealt by unit rather than environmental damage over time. But if you guys disagree with that, please let me know in the comments down below how you would design it. And guys, that will do it for today's episode. Just wanted to make a video about unreleased content in Battle Nations. I'm probably going to do some more Imperial hot takes to try to spread those out, as well as, of course, the Let's Play series after having brought it back. Already got an episode out of it. Already working on another. And yeah, if you guys have any Battle Nations content you guys want me to make, please let me know about it in the comments below. I would love to get it made for you. And guys, that will almost do it for us today. If you're still watching this, I greatly appreciate you. Thank you very much for checking out today's Battle Nations video. If you enjoyed it, please consider dropping a like down below, subscribing to the channel if you're new. If you need a guild, you are more than welcome to join the Empire, linked in the description down below. We have competitive and casual guilds for all players. Our main guild, EMP, got top 10 in the previous Ball Strike number 2 under Madrona, and we have brand new guilds accepting everybody. So no matter where you are in your Battle Nation journey or what you wish to accomplish, we have a guild for you in the Empire if you need one. And guys, that will truly do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. I greatly appreciate you. And as always, have a great rest of your day.